The air in the room felt thick, as though it were filled with the embers of fire I had released just 2 hours prior. It had happened so suddenly, I still found myself lost.
Did this really happen?
The voice of the agent brought me back to my reality.
So you're telling us?
The stern-faced man across me in his boringly bureaucratic outfit, with the logo of the Magical Defense Agency embroidered onto his chest pocket, continued.
You've been holding this fireball spell in for 2 decades?
I nodded. My clothes, still soaking wet from the hose of water used to extinguish the flames, stuck to me uncomfortably.
And you forgot about it?
A flash of frustration shot through me. I didn't forget about it. I grew, used to it. It was true, though. It had become as much a part of me as the mole about 2/3 up my right arm. Nothing that exactly defined me, just something that I had grown used to. That being said, its sudden release left me feeling absent. I didn't realize quite how much of my feelings were of the fireball until it had left me.
Mr. Hopkins, you must understand that this was extremely dangerous. Did you not stop to think about the damages you may cause, both to property and civilians?
Though perhaps unearned and regretful, my response was full of sarcasm. Yes, because that was the first thing I thought when I started this at, 3 years old. Yes, completely. The agent looked disappointed. I felt it in my core. I shouldn't have responded that way. The whole evening had been flipped on its head, and I just wanted to go home at that point. This was not the day that I had envisioned, but I knew it was far from over.
You're lucky nobody was hurt. Had this happened anywhere else, this could have been catastrophic.
He glanced back down at his written report, flipping through the pages.
It's a miracle that your car was the only thing damaged. You know people heard the explosion several blocks away, right?
I nodded, feeling shame start to seep in.
We need to investigate how this might have affected your health.
My health? I was confused. Why would my health be in question? Fireball casts provide immunity.
Yes, from the fire itself,
he continued.
Not from the sudden release of 20 years of energy. It's unheard of, not to mention the potential impacts on the environment and air quality in the area.
Silence filled the room as I realized how uneducated I actually was. He held his head in his hands.
I mean, did it not hurt to hold the spell in?
Yes. It was difficult to remember this far back. I mean, you can always feel any spell growing inside of you. The burning of the fireball was definitely there at first, but it slowly resided. Just a slight, heavy feeling within. Perhaps with a slight singe. Nothing I was able to point out until the lack of it made it apparent in hindsight. He stood up to leave the room, examining his report further.
You're going to be reporting to the MDA, the medical wing soon, to check you over.
The thought of more unwanted attention was not desirable, but certainly understandable. He spoke once more as he opened the door and left the threshold of my vision.
The silver lining is that you may have given us a chance to understand magic on a whole new level. Although I'm slightly scared for what future this could lead to. You did give us invaluable data.
His voice trailed off with one final sentence as the door closed behind him.
You're a unique case, Mr. Hopkins. A hell of a unique case.
The room felt colder as he left. Perhaps it was in my mind, or perhaps I yearned for the 20 years of warmth I had inadvertently rid myself of. Although I couldn't help but acknowledge it was probably for the best that it had been released now rather than later. I got lucky. If nothing else, I'd be a hell of a research project. Maybe I had moved forward our understanding of magic, and would be praised my whole life, or maybe I was about to be arrested for endangering others, and the property surrounding me. I'm not sure the agent knew at this point either. Be careful what you do as a child. You might just end up an enigma as an adult.